Make her choose you when she has a lot of options. Now, gentlemen, I am not going to candy coat or sugarcoat this. She has a lot of options, and she has tons of them, okay? And I'm not going to lie to you about that. She's always going to have guys sliding into her DMs. She'll have guys trying to take her out to dinner, guys trying to say hi, guys who may have more money than you, have more status than you, are taller than you, and may have the perfect body than you, okay? A lot of guys that might have better looking clothes, and they may have slicker lines than you, or something they can offer her that you cannot offer her. But with that being said, let me tell you something right now, that what if I told you none of that means anything when it comes to women chasing men? And as long as you can learn this and understand the rule and what I'm trying to teach you, you got this. Because if you want to be the guy to stand out in an ocean of men without competing for them, then why don't you go ahead, get your crayons out and soak up this game? Because a lot of people out here, they have the wrong idea, the wrong interpretation, and the wrong thought process when it comes to women trying to get men. And this is where a lot of guys get everything wrong. The moment that you feel that in your mind, in your heart, and who you are, you feel that you have to actually compete for a woman, you actually lose. Because what you're saying to that woman is that I'm just not good enough, and I hope that you find it in your heart to give me a chance and give me an opportunity to actually be with you. And you should never move that way as a man. The moment you move that way as a man, you're showing her that she's not going to get anything from you like the average guy. And that's the good news. See, most guys out here is that, you know, when you're running behind women and telling women how important they are to you and how pretty she is and how you want to do all these things with her, you're saying to her that I'm not good enough. And that's what the majority of the guys are doing out here, regardless of how they look. And when you tell her that she's the prize and you make her feel like she's the prize, what happens is you actually become the applicant, or it's like you're going out for an interview and then you have to sit back and wait for her to be her judge, okay? You told her that she gets to sit back, she gets to relax, and she gets to decide, compare, grade, and decide whether she wants to give you a shot or not. And that's, gentlemen, that's not the game right there. And once you do that and move that way, you actually become disposable to that woman. You become just another name in that pile of men who are sitting there trying to audition her to get her to open those butt cheeks up and give you some. And that's why the majority of the guys out here are never winning right now. Now, what I am trying to teach y'all guys in this game is that you don't have to stand out by trying harder than the next man. You stand out by refusing to play the game that, oh, excuse me, allergy, man. Woo, allergies coming up. You refuse to play the game, excuse me, guys. You refuse to play the game that the majority guys are playing, okay? See, what most people don't understand is that the majority of these guys out here are all playing the same kind of game, okay? And that is trying to win her approval by doing something crazy. They're trying to perform with that woman. And this is why when they try to get at a woman or something like that, they're all going to blend together. They're all going to be the same person, and nothing's actually going to change, because she's already met that story and that side before. And what happens is it cheapens the experience when a woman is not with a guy that has a game and knows what he's actually doing. You see, gentlemen, what makes a woman start chasing certain men is not just the looks, has nothing to do with that, or the status or anything. Because I think we have been told a lot of lies about women, that you have to be a certain kind of guy, you have to do a certain kind of thing, and if you're that certain kind of guy and you do that certain kind of thing, she is actually going to chase you. No, it's not going to happen, gentlemen. And this is the worst thing, and this is why it's very important to be careful about who you listen to on the internet, because they're not teaching you what you have to know when it comes to this game. It is not sitting around there trying to chase her or trying to chase her with status and money and clothes and feel good, okay? See, the thing that you've got to do is you got to put yourself in a position to make her chase a feeling that she's going to get from you and you alone. That means that when she's around you, there is something that you trigger inside of her that is so, like, it's just out there, so out there that she's not used to seeing that from a guy, okay? And that is a lighter, deeper, calmer individual that's laid back in the cut and not trying to really force a situation on a woman. And see, when you get on that deep level, especially when you learn the game and everything, you have to understand women are wired for connection, okay? But for a lot of you guys out there, y'all don't know that because you're wired to be scared of rejection. But women that are really more defensive than offensive guys is that she's just trying to filter out the weirdos, the guys, the clowns, the fools, and everything like that. It doesn't mean you're the clown, you're the weirdo, or you're the fool. It doesn't mean that you're actually the problem. It's just the problem in all of this is how you interpret things. It's how you're actually moving in the game. And as long as you're moving the way that you're moving, you're not going to get the results that you actually want to get, because a lot of guys out there are too busy trying to impress her, trying to trap her in, or trying to force her into some kind of a tactic or a manipulation. See, what people don't understand when it comes to the manipulation, which is so cold, the manipulation is her emotions going against her logic. That's where the manipulation comes from, gentlemen. Now, here is where those that have the game actually separate themselves from those who don't, okay? And this is all about you and who you are as a man, where you don't sit there, okay? She needs to feel something from you, okay? To a point where she stops calculating things or trying to protect her from certain things and just start analyzing you and what you are to her and how she feels about you. See, when there is a presence about you that sits there and says, you know, and I don't need you as much as you need me, everything's gonna change. And this is why I always want to present to you guys a sexual amusement park, okay? And having a sexual amusement park where people don't understand why I want you to create that is because you want to say to that woman, I understand what you're going through and I understand what's happening in your life, but when you're with me, I can get rid of, for a little while, not long, all the stresses that you have, the stresses of your bills, the pressure, the uncertainty. So what you want to do is actually create an environment that temporarily tunes all of the things that she is going through off, where she knows that you can be my margarita, you can be my mimosa, you can be my wine, you can be my book, you can be the thing that is going to allow me to get away from all the problems that I have, all my insecurities, my low self-worth, my low self-esteem, and everything under the sun, where you actually bring her some kind of relief. And what you're doing is you're bringing, you're drawing her into you. You're drawing her into a feeling that is bigger than the worries that she has. And if you can create a feeling, not a sexual one, but first a feeling that being with you, I can get away from the world. I can get away from the things, or away from the people, away from the stress, away from whatever she's stressing about, and actually be with you. And that's why this is exactly why women chase, because when she sees you and sees how you move, she's going to recognize the way you move feels really heavy, you know what I mean? And that, you know what, you're not there to answer all of her questions. You're just there, that you're grounded, you're fun, you're relaxing, and she can just kick back, let her hair down, and be who she wants to be around you with no fear of worry or judgment or anything like that. And when she gets like that, this is where everything you're going to do is going to create memories and going to create moments. And gentlemen, when you're able to create memories and you're able to create moments in all of this, you change up the game, because your amusement park is saying, if you mess with me, I can take you to a place that you have never seen, that you have never been a part of. And if you want to be a part of it, you know, come on and mess with me. And when you can actually do that, gentlemen, that's what's going to change up the game. But let's break down what works real quick so we can help you guys out. Because, okay, well, the thing is that I think a lot of guys kind of go wrong in all of this because a lot of guys don't understand the dynamics of when you are good in bed. And being good in bed doesn't mean poking a hole. Being good on bed is saying that, you know what, I'm not afraid to lose you, okay? I'm not gonna give you more than what I give anybody else just because you have a round ass or you have some fat titties. I'm not just going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm not even going to try to match your reality. I'm going to show you why you need to be a part of my world and a part of my reality. And that's where you're going to draw her into you and actually get her to start chasing you. And why does all of this matter? Because I think most guys don't understand the rules or the game when it comes to sexual attraction. It is that it's always going to be available or it's going to lose value. That's all it is. And see, when you show a woman that she has to actually earn your time, earn who you are as a man, when she feels that, you know what, man, I've got to do more for him than I do the average guy, that actually changes up the game. But when you change who you are and your efforts based off of what you think about her, this is where the problem comes in at. And this is where women are always going to have problems with certain kind of guys, because in her world, she's recognizing that your presence is not automatic. It's just a negotiable. You know, you're trying to negotiate self-worth and all these things to a woman that's not asking for a negotiation. She doesn't want to feel that she's being negotiated to. She wants to feel that without you, there's a certain kind of loss that I'm going through. There's something that is actually it's something that's bothering me. And I can't necessarily put my finger on it, but I know it's there. But the weird thing about it is it's only there with you, nobody else. I only get that way with you. And then what you have to understand real quick to break this down even more is that, as I was telling you guys in the live show about loops and everything, it's the one thing that where a lot of guys talk themselves out of the woman based off of the loop because they're doing way too much too fast. And when you sit back, take your time, and don't run behind her like most guys do, what happens is you keep that loop open. Remember, gentlemen, I always tell you, simple as a door closing, okay, in the frame, okay? So you open the door because it fits the frame. The door frame, not frame PUA, fits the frame, right? So the door can open and the door can close, right? So that can be a loop that the average man is going to give a woman, meaning that there's nothing really special about that. But when you have the game and you elevate her, you educate her, you draw out her femininity and you draw out her sexual side, then what happens, gentlemen, is that door then begins to expand, okay? So once the door expands, it can never close again, gentlemen. And that's what we're talking about, the loop being open versus the loop being closed. Because if the loop remains closed, then you're like everybody else. But you need that loop to be open, where, like I say, if the door expands and it tries to close in that door frame, it's not going to close. It's always going to remain open. And in that openness is where the curiosity of her femininity, her primal, and her sexual is going to want to know more about you. Who are you? What are you? Why are you? What are you doing right now? Why aren't you texting me? Did I do something wrong? Is he not interested in me? I thought he was interested in me, but if he's interested in me, why isn't he reaching out to me? Why isn't he talking to me? So all these things that I keep trying to tell you is that open loop, because in her mind, women cannot stand unfinished business. And that is why those stories, I can tell you, those soap operas and everything, Cliffhanger Fridays, and things like that, or drive women absolutely crazy, because They're trying to complete the loop. Women will always do everything they possibly can, to close the loop. And if you move the right way, gentlemen, you'll never close the loop because of how you're expanding the interaction between the two of you. And if you're expanding the interaction between the two of you, then the loop will never get closed. And if the loop doesn't get closed, that's why she's got to see how far this goes down, because in her mind, she's so used to closing the loop. And gentlemen, check this out. This is where you can use what everybody else is doing to benefit you. Guys, I've always told you, man, that, and I know y'all think I sound crazy, I always wanted to talk to other people. I wanted to talk to other people. I wanted to text other people. I wanted to go on dates with other people, because they're going to always close the loop off and reinforce why I'm different and why you'll be different. Because just like everybody else, they've got to close the loop off. And the loop is, I want them butt cheeks open, right? But see, when you have the game, there's no sign of what you want. Yes, there is a sort of sexual connection, but why isn't he being like everybody else? See that loop right there, that question why? Because guys, I've always told, I tell all you young men this, and please understand this. The thing that most people don't understand about the game itself when it comes to the game is that the moment she asks, who are you, in the way that I'm showing you, is actually going to open up the reality. That's how new realities open up, when she starts to not question her self-worth, but she's asking herself, who are you? And that is, she's got to find some kind of closure. And the only way to find that closure is to keep talking to you. But the more she talks to you, the more that loop begins to expand and never close, which forces her to keep running back to the same loop over and over and over again. And what happens is that curiosity alone draws her into you and makes her want to talk to you, and makes her want to not just see how your day is, she wants to be a part of your day, because in her mind she's saying, man, if he's this exciting and he's this fun and he's this different, well, what is it going to be like if I flirted with him? What is it going to be like if we were flirting a little bit? Or what would it be like to kiss him? What would it be like to feel his lips on my body? I mean, these are then new loops that are open in the woman that she creates herself, that she needs more closure. The more open loops you create with women, the more they're going to run after you, because unlike the average man, there's no closure. And if there's no closure, it's going to drive her up a wall. Women are so used to closure so much that it's expected that, the person that I'm talking to right now, I'm going to get closure from this person, because he's like every average guy that I know. He's no different. He's just like every person, until he's not, until she meets what I call him. And then when she meets that person, that's when the loop itself is going to expand. And once it expands, it never closes. And that is part of the alignment. And that is the moment that she is going to start chasing after you. But she's not, now, and this is going to be crazy. Listen to me. She's not necessarily chasing after you, okay? What she's chasing after is the feeling that you give her when she's around you. She needs to see where is this going? Where are we going in all this? And how deep is this rabbit hole going to be? And I don't care how deep it is. I just have to find out how this is going to go, because you are so amazing and you are so intriguing, and there is so much about you that I don't even know, that I'm going to drive myself sick and crazy if I don't find out who and what you are. So this is why we don't say run behind women, and you don't have to kiss her ass, and you don't have to do circus tricks and all that other stuff to get the woman. That's not the game, man. See, a quick smile and certain things that you can say when her emotional perfect pitch recognizes that you're totally different, everything at that point is actually going to change, okay? And that control matters so much because most men over flirt, and that kills things. Most men try to rush things, try to get things moving, and what is going to, and then the last reinforcer of the loop is going to be the scarcity. Man, I mean, he's not calling me, he's not texting me. Who is he talking to? Who is she? And then she creates a story. And then once she creates a story about who you're messing with, then it is at that point she will then compare herself to that woman in the story in which she created about you, and then will have this roar of jealousy and being territorial and saying, I'm not gonna let somebody else outdo me. That woman she created based off of the open loops, not closed loops. Remember, when the loop can close, she's in control. As long as the loop expands and stays open, it is when she then starts to feel that I need to get with this guy. I need to know more about you. And that is going to make her begin to reach out, begin to chase you, begin to get more angry and bitter because she's saying in her mind, don't you see I like you? Can't you see I'm interested in you? Why can't you see that? Why are you playing games and all this other stuff? All right. And then because when a woman feels with an open loop that you're not available on demand, your world actually begins to shift. Look, when you're not on demand, the world shifts. Everything shifts. And what do I mean by everything shifting? What I mean by everything shifting is if her world is based off of, I've got the bomb coochie, I've got the bomb, I'm that woman, and guys should run behind me. But when she meets a guy like you, it's at that point she starts to worry about, who her self-image is. And what happens is then she unearths her self-worth, her low self-esteem, to wonder why you are not running behind her. And this is why we don't want to turn ourselves into an emotional drive-through. That is always open 24 hours a day for any woman, okay? We want to limit access by not playing games, but by just who we are. And when you can limit that access, man, you actually change everything up, because she technically has never met you before. She is only going to meet the version of you that her mind creates in her head when she feels like she can't have you. She feels like she's losing control, and she's going to realize through her emotions that I've got to chase the drug of you. You become the fentanyl to her drug habit. You become the liquor to her alcoholic, her addiction to liquor. She has to have you. She has to get to know you. She has to call you. She has to text you. She has to spend time with you. And what's so crazy, sometimes she feels like she has to have you inside of her. She wants to feel what it's like to be with someone whose loops don't close. How deep are you hitting her? You're hitting the bottom here. But then what's going to make it even greater is that she wants to feel your depth and range and your stroke game and everything in between. So guys, just remember that you can get a woman to chase you even in an environment with a lot of guys going after her, okay? As long as you learn the game and become a student of the game, it is very easy for that to happen. Or you're going to just keep doing what everyone else is doing and closing loops. But if you want to begin the process of breaking your loop and breaking that and expanding that, hey, we've got your PDF file right here. Go ahead and get your PDF file right here. Go to themanmindset@gmail.com. Just ask for your PDF file and get the process going. Do that or not. But if you don't want to do that and you're not ready, we have videos, YouTube shorts, and live shows all the time where we're always teaching you the game and everything like that. Okay, gentlemen? So that's just what it is. Now listen, gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed this video right here, you are going to love this video I have right there. That video right here, that I have right there, you're going to love that video, because that video also is going to help you in this game, guys. All we want to say to you guys out here, go in and soak up this game. When you soak up the game, you change interpretation. You change interpretation, you actually win. Guys, I appreciate you. Don't forget to look at that video. We'll talk soon.